Hey guys, in this section, we're going to talk about your business plan, which is actually one of the most important steps you're going to take. And it should be one of the first steps you take is to just kind of put together a business plan. And we'll talk about, reasons why it's important. So there's 6 reasons why you need a business plan. One, clearly is to have a clear vision and direction of what you want to do. So I think that for any business you do, you want to just have, even if you have in your mind what's the steps you want to take, I think it's important that you get a formal business plan drafted, and then you start putting your steps in place. And you'll notice that under each step, there's going to be sub steps that you're going to have to do to accomplish those. So that's just a way that you can easily just start checking off your list, your to-do list to start this business. So say if you want an assisted living facility, your step one will be find a location. If you don't have a location, you know, how are you going to find a location? You can either purchase or lease a facility. So you can say if you want to lease a facility, you have to then reach out to people that own homes, and you can say, okay, well, I like to lease your place. And you may run through 50 of those places before you find one. Then once you find a place, you'll have to license it. And once you license it, what are the steps to license? Here's all the steps I need to do to license a facility. And once you license a facility, filling the bids, and of course, you can go down the list of things to do. Second is risk assessment. So what can this possibly cost me? Like let's look through the market analysis. You can, identify potential challenges and risk in the industry. So what are the risks in assisted living? Okay, someone slipping and falling and hurting themselves, or you may get a lawsuit. It's rare, but it can happen. So how do you protect yourself from those risks? Then you start putting your sub and you say, okay, well, this is what I can do to minimize those risks. You set yourself up a corporation, you get insurance, you do all, do necessary steps to prevent risk. And, your target audience and identification. So who are you going to service? So you're going to service seniors. So how are you going to find those seniors? You're going to go to nursing homes, talk to social workers. You're going to go to senior centers. You're going to go to your neighborhood associations to look for clients. So this is going to just help you outline exactly who's your target audience, and then how you're going to actually find these people and engage them. And then your compliance and licensing. That goes back to what do I need to do to get this place licensed? You'll download your license application, and that'll have a whole list of steps for you to accomplish to even get to the point where you even get the place licensed. And that goes in your business plan as well. Your operational efficiency, which is one of the most important things to have when you're owning an assisted living facility. Like, you want to make sure your operations and you have good policies and procedures. Like, if someone slips and falls, then what happens? Then you submit a report. Then you contact the family, and before that even happens, you make sure they get seen by the delegating nurse or staff, and then you do an interview and you say, okay, this is what happened. What you gonna do to prevent this from happening again? So all that has to be, in your operations and your policies and procedures. So you have to, jot down. You don't have to go into as much detail, but you should jot down in your business plan, the kind of things you're going to do to make sure you're operationally efficient. So you make sure your business is running smoothly. And that's going to then translate into your policies and procedures, where you're going to have a robust list of things and policies and procedures that you're going to follow. And last thing is attracting investors and lenders. So you can't go to any investor or any lender and say, hey, I want to start an assisted living facility without a business plan. They're going to look at you like, okay, so how are you going to do this? Like, well, we don't see anything on paper. We want to know. We want to know that you at least know how to take the necessary steps to run your own business or the business you're proposing to us. So even marketing to investors. And when I first started, I was very much against going to investors. I was like, oh, I can do it myself, but that's really not the way to go. I suggest anyone to always keep open mind and taking on an investor. Yeah, you might pay a little more, you might partner, but you can expand so much quicker. So you say you may have someone that maybe has an influx of cash, and they say, I want to get into assisted living, but I don't want to run it. And you can say, okay, well, I can run it. I have a business, let's open up a second location. You can put up $1 million, and I'll make sure everything gets licensed. Here's a business plan. Here's a business plan for a location I was looking at. Let's think about breaking ground on this project. You can be a partner on this project. So then you always have like a quick gun in your holster to pull out, and you run across a good investor, and that can help you expand really quick.